Friends, today we discuss what is adiabatic compression, what is isothermal compression, and what is the advantage of multi-stage compression. So before start, first we understand what is adiabatic compression. It is a compression in which there is no heat transfer takes place. Means when the piston is coming up, it is compressing air and the temperature goes up of the air. Like this is our cylinder and here is a piston. When piston is coming up, this is discharge valve, suction valve is closed, discharge valve is closed, and when this piston is coming up, it will compress the air and the temperature of the air goes up, but that temperature is not taking out from inside the compression cycle. So the compression is called adiabatic because there is no heat removal. In the same way, what is isothermal compression? It is a compression during which we remove the temperature, we are reducing the temperature inside the cylinder. When the piston is coming up, air will compress, and by means of external cooling of the cylinder, we remove the temperature, heat inside of the cylinder. So what is advantage of doing this? So to understand that thing, we see the graph. This is the pressure volume graph. So when we are compressing, the volume is reducing here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 4. I'm explaining like this is curve B, this is curve A, this is curve A, this is curve B. So when we are doing adiabatic compression, so it will form 1, 2, 3, 4. And what will happen when we are doing isothermal compression? This will become 2 dash 1, 2 dash 3, 4. So this much work done is saved when we are doing isothermal compression. So this is the major advantage of doing isothermal compression. So we remove the heat inside of the cylinder by doing water cooling, air cooling of the liner. So in air compressors we use water cooling system, air cooling system, so that we can reduce the work done. So now what is multi-stage? So in multi-stage compression done in stages has the advantage of work saved by intercooling between stages. So it means in every stage the compression takes place. Like this is I explain you inline compression. This is stage 1, this piston, this cylinder. Here stage 2, piston, and this is liner. So what is happening here? This is stage 1, the discharge valve discharges, and before going to the second stage, here we make one intercooler. After cooling, the compressed air is going to stage 2, and then it is compressed by the piston, and then it's come out. So what is the advantage of doing intercooling? The advantage is that we will save the work done. So how it is happening? So the graph will say that when we are compressing in stage 1, like this is stage 1, this is curve A, 1 2 3 4. So this much work is saved after intercooling, and then again this compression takes place like this. So this much work is saved. It means this is first stage, this is second stage. So if we are adding one more stage here, so the curve will become like this. This is the main curve which is coming adiabatic compression. So the curve will become like this. Like this. This much work is saved again in the third stage. Actually this much work is saved, but what about this curve is coming like this. It is showing isothermal compression, it is adiabatic compression, but the curve which is forming like this for the actual compression which is happening by the compressor. So the compression for the air compressor is isotropic compression, because isothermal compression is not possible. We cannot remove 100% heat. Adiabatic compression is also not acceptable, but 100% isothermal is not, we are not able to achieve. So the compression for the air compressor is called isentropic compression. So after second stage, one more stage will be there. So again intercooler will be provided before going to the third stage, and again I will make one more cylinder. So the size of the cylinder is also reduced, piston size is also reduced for the third stage. Here the piston size will be bigger than this, and here the piston size will be bigger than this. We are compressing, so the volume of this air will reduce, so we use small piston size here for the second stage. And again after compression, the volume of the air will reduce because the pressure is increased. So again I will reduce the size of the piston for the third stage. So this is intercooler, and after coming out this, we can use aftercooler. So from this discharge we take out, there is the aftercooler, then this will go to the air reservoir. This is the reservoir. Here we store the pressurized air. This will go inside, and here the drain will be provided, so that any oil or water inside the reservoir can be drained out. There is a safety valve for the safety of the air reservoir. So this is the inline compression I am explaining. If you assume here the temperature is 28 degree, and after compression temperature will increase, then again after intercooling temperature will reduce. So here will be around 35 degree or 32 degree assume, then again it will compress, temperature will increase. Then after intercooler, again we will reduce the temperature around 35 degree, then again it will increase here, and after cooler again it will go around 38 to 45 degree, 38 to 40 degree to the air reservoir. So the temperature from 28 degree is increased. If it is isothermal compression, the temperature should not be increased. So 100% cooling is cannot be achieved, so the temperature will increase. So it is called isentropic compression.